Marvel Studios is slowly starting to assemble its version of the Thunderbolts in live action. It's definitely taken a while, but soon they will be with us. And it just so happens that quite a few characters that could join the Thunderbolts were previously related to Marvel TV. Now a popular theory suggests that maybe Wilson Fisk's the Kingpin is helping form this team. So this certainly would be an interesting approach if Wilson Fisk has been somebody that has all these connective tissues between everything that's happening, and we've seen him work from behind the scenes into pulling some strings to sort of make some, let's just say, characters return to live action, but also to be able to add characters to Valentina's team. Now, as of right now, we already know she's recruited Yelena, a new Black Widow, and U.S. Agent. If you look at the lineup of the Thunderbolts, there's plenty of things you can do with the team to vary it up. There's also Zemo, who is making his own team, and then whatever else is happening with a version of the Dark Avengers, which also seem to be forming, so a few villainous teams as well. Now, from what I gathered from the many theories I've seen, and any of them that include the Kingpin, seem to hinge on he would bring in his own people. Somebody like Bullseye, for example, which honestly would make sense. Bullseye is a perfect fit for the Thunderbolts, and a perfect way to add that character from TV into the MCU proper and just go with it, especially since he already has a connection to Daredevil, who's going to be coming back. And I honestly do believe that this has to be something, because the more we're seeing, the more grounded things in the MCU that appear, the more they are connecting to this heroes versus street level villains, and I think that's honestly a good pick. And if they do play their cards right, having somebody like Thunderbolt Ross working with a criminal mastermind like Kingpin and Valentina together to assemble a team, it's easy to see how they could add multiple new members. I mean, you can always bring back Elektra. It's not like you have to worry about explaining how she comes back. I mean, resurrection is a thing related to her and multiple people she's related to, so that works. You're building up the Echo series, which will have many elements of the Hand by the sounds of it. So there is this in where I think there is something to go off of these theories where you can just kind of look at what people are coming up with and what insiders are saying, and I put that in quotation marks, of course, and see how many people could reach the same conclusion, because it just makes sense. And it's a good way to bring in all these Netflix characters without having to necessarily explain their back history, because team ensembles are written differently. And you don't give everybody too much time in their entire backstory. That's the creative genius of ensemble films being approachable by everybody, or even ensemble TV series. And I think we've all seen with Marvel Studios that they can take a lot of characters and make it somebody's first time watching and they know what's happening. It happened with the original Avengers, and it's going to continue to happen. Villains are especially easier because we see it pulled off more because they're bad. That's sort of you're in, and you give a little exposition as to why, and then you get moving. So I do believe this could be something that they could try to do with Kingpin, because why not make him somebody that's been pulling the strings behind the crime syndicates in New York? It just fits exactly what he would do, and you can easily connect him to Valentina and the Thunderbolts if you want.